Hello and welcome to the preview show of Rosehill Gardens. It's a pretty decent winners card at Rosehill. Mark Lambourne.
It is Dallas Baker, and feels a bit yick, but the betting promises to be good enough tomorrow. We've got G. Pollitt coming off his. Was he fast finishing or was he mowing down?
He was mowing down. I think fast finishing. I think you'd call it.
Right.
In the tournament, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the last race.
Hello, Matt. Matt Tuller.
G'day. And the last race he did a lot of work and he ended up where he started with.
Yeah, exactly right.
But it was still good enough.
Anyway, well, you mentioned the tournament. Before we're going to do one of the promotions we got this week is Take on Glenn. Is that right?
Take on Glenn.
Yeah.
Take on Tom.
Yeah.
It's Glenn. The Glenn stuff.
The Glenster, yeah.
So yeah, if you buy his Mountain Yard mail this week through the One to Follow site, you get free access into the Rosehill tournament, and the Glenster will be fronting up again, putting his pride on the line.
But just say that you got to buy it through the One to Follow site.
Exactly. So we'll make sure the links are there. So yeah, just jump on our site. There's a link there to it. Otherwise, go straight to onetofollow.com.au. It's a subscription sort of deal, but you can log out. You can cancel it whenever you like.
The One to Follow stuff is perpetual, but you can log out at any time. So it is actually the easiest way, and where we'll be moving over to in the next coming weeks. It is if you are a regular subscriber and you don't want to put your credit card details in every week, it is the easiest way of doing it because it just ticks over. But as we said, like all of our stuff, like it's always going to be, you can opt out at any time at your choice.
And the Rose, if you don't want to grab Glenn's mail, it's $55 to buy into the tournament. So you'd be mad not to get the Mountain Yard for $33.
Absolutely. So jump on board with that at One to Follow. Get Glenn's mail and take it on for the $50 tournament at Rosehill Gardens, which, as we said, looks a very good meeting. And of course, while we're mentioning Mountain Yard mail, we have the other offer as well too, $55 for the two, with Warren at Flemington, and Flemington is an awesome card. Again, it is really, really good, Flemington. What a surprise to say that.
Wish I was there. But
Yeah.
I'll be at Rosehill tomorrow.
Anyway, so Mounting Yard Mail, there it is. Go through the tournament. We might even set it up too that if they buy Warren's Mounting Yard Mail too through One to Follow, they can go into it too. Yes, you can do that.
Wow.
You can.
Dallas is just making decisions.
There it is. Yeah, and you can buy the pair $55.
What is this, live television?
Live television. Yeah. Does anyone want to break their arm?
That's why Glenn wouldn't let us see his book last week
because it's live. Yeah. He said, no, you can't look at it. Glenn, it's not live. You still can't look at it. Anyway, you can join up for both Mounting Yard Mails, which is the easiest way to do it as well, to at One to Follow, and that's perpetual. So jump on with that, and you can get in the tournament as well too. And if you get Warren's one out too, we'll put you in the tournament to take on Glenn as well. So go to onetofollow.com.au to sign up with all of that for the weekend. Anyway, Mark, as you said, it's a bit doomy, gloomy. Not as more rain on the coast than there has been at Rosehill, but a couple of mils and cold and not drying out.
Yeah, although they must keep the grass very long.
It is. And you know what? And I don't know if this is an absolute consistent thing, but from looking at both tracks, Randwick probably just generally has a little bit more breeze, so the dew dries out a lot quicker at Randwick. Right. I know I was very surprised to feel how 2 weeks ago at Rosehill, how it was still damp when checking the track at about 10 o'clock, and normally by that time at Randwick, in days like this, the dew's almost gone, but that was still, your shoes were really wet still with it.
Yeah, so I guess, that thickness of grass and the thatch that's accumulated underneath, like you look at these joints and they're just firm as, because there's no grass on them.
Yeah, but there's still you can still look at them, they're still muddy.
Oh, well, that's because it's rained.
Yeah.
But I mean, a couple of days ago when they're wanting to tell you all the tracks are soft.
Yeah.
And you're just walking around on whatever grass you can find going, it's just ridiculous that they're soft. But all I can think of is that there's so much grass that it holds the moisture forever.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. And they get the top up of the moisture with the dews. Yeah. Anyway, there it is.
There you go. So
rail true off the fence.
We'll be on the driest sort of track we've had for a while though on a Saturday, even though it will be wet.
Yeah, I think only a notch or two though, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe, potentially.
Nothing significant, I don't think. We're just in a zone where it's all Mercksville. But look, with the rail true, Rosehill played quite well on Monday. A rail 6 metres, better than it played 6 metre-ish, but not tragically 6
I think
metre-ish.
it's something to do with all this rain we've had. It's sort of just levelled up the playing field a bit. Like those awful biases we used to get have been just less
Oh
than a
right,
little
so you were
bit.
happy with last Saturday at Randwick, where if you weren't hugging the fence.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
You
that's
know?
the thing. Like, it never
Avoid
used
lightning
to,
leaves the fence.
That's what I'm
and-
saying. Like the
Oh,
6,
sorry.
the 6 metre point never used to be a fast lane.
Oh no, it was one off at Randwick. It wasn't hard fence at Randwick.
Yeah.
They're all one off. They're all in the lane. The lane's on fire at Randwick. Don't worry about that. Anyway, that's Randwick.
Anyway, look, Rose Hill tomorrow. Just like draw mid to wide and stay off the fence.
Yep, perfect. All right, lovely. Let's get into it. Race 1 is Shard 2-year-olds, $13.50. Shards $2.10 and favourite $2 in UBet. Everywhere else is odds on. $6.50 show Willie. Quick ransom. The switch was $6.
Yeah, just quick ransom, $7 into $6 was given
Why?
taken early.
What the fuck?
Well,
Bendigo.
I'm going to be tipping it.
Ballarat, didn't it?
Okay,
I'll be
well, I'll be
tipping
listening. I'm listening.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Go, Mark.
Yeah. Look, I realised the time was okay.
No,
margin-
that data shit on it.
Right, ratings win actually just had it below average, which
Did
is
it?
which is good for
We
a
only had
that
it
level.
20 lengths below, but
Right, okay.
But it is on a wet track, so there's no real reference. Anyway, all right. Who leads?
I had Strathaired leading,
Yep.
who's the Perry 2-year-old that got the blinkers on 2 starts ago, and has put it all together up the line, obviously in lesser company.
Lightning Rock.
Obviously, Shards will be on speed, Lightning Rock
Yeah.
underneath them, Bubbleberry gets right on speed, and the Snowden pair will be looking for positions involving Mary Rani, which is looking at a quick ransom in quite a good position midfield. And so Willie draws the dreaded gate 1, not the 13.50, so his SP advantage over the favourite is somewhat nullified by that fact.
Few things so will get nullified with as well too. All right,
Yeah,
lovely.
Ware Shaw out the back. Now, Ware Shaw's an interesting runner because he enjoyed the bias at Gosford. The favourite drew gate 1 and he drew 6, but he ended up on the fence, the favourite didn't. But he seems a sort of a scopy type.
Stupid. Yeah, all right, lovely. Let's talk about Quick Ransom firstly. It is an interesting horse. It's run a bog track at Ballarat. Comes up here on the switch. Ran second. Closed off okay on our numbers,
off.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it was the worst race of the day by a long space on data. But what does it actually mean? It's a heavy track debut for a 2-year-old.
I think I had a look at that whole day. I think the fence was the place to be. The winner kicked. It got off the fence and it really attacked the line late, and there was a big gap for third. So the winner then goes to Moonee Valley, and this time jumped slowly and was wide on a day you wanted to be hard fence, and really hit the line well.
Okay.
I think King Kling or something won the race, and its form is sort of good around Bassett.
Yeah.
Bassett started favourite at the Gold Coast, so
Yeah.
I'm really drawing a line to say that look, I think the winner is okay, and it hit the line harder, and it definitely wasn't a horse that was at 1100. 1350 looks good, it looks a nice type, but yeah.
What I'm really looking forward to seeing what type of horse it is.
Yeah,
if it's a wet
I'm
track,
really
wet track
interested.
type. If it's a wet track type, obviously you say, well, then you were suited then. But if you're a big clumping thing, which the track is going to be a lot better than what that was,
Yeah.
well then you've got to be of interest with it. But
Yeah, well, I'd love
so that
to get,
leaves
the
me
mount-
ambivalent on the race
The
because
mounting
it's a
yard
key.
is a big key for me.
It's a
this
key
race.
thing. Anyway, that there it is. We've spoken about that. What, Mark?
So you guys were both speaking at the same time.
Yes, there it is.
excited.
Exactly. Well, we know what we want to find out. You don't like it. You've taken the Brasco to it.
No, I haven't. Like it started 9-2 in a $17,500 race at Ballarat. It's like, yeah. I mean, despite his SP problem with So Willie, I mean, Shards is put down at Rose Hill.
Yeah.
At his second start against a horse that's done what everyone has seen subsequently. It's entitled to be where it is.
Oh, I'm not down. What I'm hoping I see a little runty wet track type, so it's out of the race, and you just say Shards is a moral.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to get rid of it, but I can't get rid of it.
I didn't check it. So is it an expensive yearling?
It's
I haven't
it's by a
looked
long
into
row out of something.
Observational skills 101 there.
Yeah, I saw Lonro.
Rose Ransom, a Red Ransom, man.
They're often big.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked a big. It looked a nice type on the
Okay,
video,
all right.
so I'll be interested to hear what you guys say.
Beautiful. All right, okay. So Shards looks to get the great run, but it is Samantha too, and it's Samantha even money first race doesn't exactly
You may not have seen his ride on Mogador on Monday. That was.
I have required Mogadon after quite a few of his rides. It looks like he's taken Mogadon before a few of his rides.
Well, I think obviously Jimmy's away. Jimmy Mack is away.
Yeah.
And S. Clipperton has got to step up.
Yeah.
And I noticed on Monday that he actually did that.
Okay.
He rode a perfect race. So
he's trying to be Clippo, not Samantha, in other words.
well, I mean, obviously, it's the yin and the yang, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a possibility that he'll put it together because he's got the opportunity.
Well, he should just lob into the right spot, shouldn't he? I mean, it does look pretty easy for him. Anyway, all right, keep going.
1 Shards, 6 Bubbleberry, who's a professional hero, shown on the track and will be there. 2 So Willie, who, as we mentioned, has the SP over the favourite, but the barrier 1, and
He did have a lot of aces last start, which he didn't use, didn't he?
yeah. Well, I suppose it was a bit offensive. You sort of had to suck up that day, and he didn't.
He wasn't put into the race enough, but still, he had that beautiful backup. He
I
had
know,
all that.
I
He
know.
had.
He got
He
beat-
had.
he got-
he- And he's
he got
now
beat
fourth up first.
Shocking long way.
Yeah, fourth up first prep, and he
And Matt
probably
was
exposed
pouring
himself.
cold water around that day too. That was fair
Yeah.
credit to you, Matt.
Which
You
horse
went.
was that?
So Willie, you said
Oh,
Randwick
yeah,
was the
he
day
was
for
mine, yeah.
Randwick
Yeah.
was the day for him,
Yeah.
and you were spot on. Anyway, 2 So Willie, and 9 Strathaired, who actually did quite well at Taree. We're sure I'm certainly respectful of him. I think 4.5 units are number 1.
Yeah, I think Shards is also. But I wouldn't get caught into the whole thing about comparing what he did with against Press Statement, and Press Statement went on to it. Press Statement was highly vulnerable that day and has improved about 5 lengths. So
Yeah.
Shard, put it this way, Shards wouldn't have gone up to Brisbane and done what Press
I
Statement
think
did.
any horse was next to Press Statement that day would have run very similar. Like
Yeah.
Shards didn't really pull away from.
No.
But didn't put that many lengths on there.
But I think Shards is obviously the default thing, and we've got it.
Yeah.
On what I've got is a couple of lengths clear of the field, and that makes it a fair enough even money chance, as long as Quick Ransom
Yeah.
isn't with us.
And I'll take a gamble early, 6 units each way, Quick Ransom. Hoping. I think there's a bit of extra speed in this race, and Shards won't get the easy time it had last time. So I think it's a good each way gamble.
Beautiful.
Speaking of Clippo, he of course rooted your early play last Saturday.
Yes, that was.
Like he just didn't know what he was doing on Holler, did he?
No, but
We have-
Holla wasn't with us, mate. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, the ferry bet said that as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the run it looked
Funny when
ideal,
horses
but
get presented
as the
that
day
horses
went
that are-
on, it was.
Maybe there's something in that. Horses that are obvious odds-on favourites that get presented as pregnant. Maybe. I don't know. Hello.
Moving right along.
Race 2 is the Magara State Ages, but before that we've got to talk about Race B Profiles, Matt, who absolutely smashed up Brisbane last week. What
They
was
did.
it? 7 from 9 winning races and like average prices of $1 million to 1.
Yeah. Like I
It's
sort of.
easy to say.
I had a flick through the form for the Stradbroke, and I just assumed Strachandy was sort of gone. And,
Yeah.
she might have peaked early or whatever. But the facts were put in there that the race was run way too fast. It actually battled on well, and the Doomben 10,000 was going to be run. Oh, so the Stradbroke was going to be run much slower. There it is, Magical, clear danger,
Yeah.
and at the price was the bet you guys suggested.
20 to 1 was...
Yeah,
Wow.
about 17 or something.
The first race, Excelentes,
Excelentes,
12 to 1. Yeah.
So just a really rock
So,
solid
yeah,
day for
it was
you to pick the eyes
winners
out of it.
left, right, and centre, and
Yeah.
massive odds. Just a huge fill up in Brisbane, as it was last year too. And Ipswich was a good day last year. I know Ipswich isn't everyone's cup of tea, but we won at Ipswich last year with the Race B Profiles. So don't miss them in Brisbane if you want to play in Brisbane. And we have our 3-state offer as well too. You can get Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane for $125, which is our standing value.
Is
So.
Ipswich in Brisbane?
Yeah, sort of.
Claim it?
Yeah, I think it's sort of like as Penrith is to Sydney, Ipswich is to Brisbane, but not quite as far.
Hawkesbury or something.
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's more. No, it's
Okay.
Brisbane.
3-state offer, Brisbane.
Lovely. Ipswich,
125
Sydney,
for the three.
yeah, lovely. Rose Hill and Flemington. And having done Rose Hill, we're very confident actually. So away you go with Race Speed Profiles. Grunderzeit is $3.80 in the Magara Estate Agents over 1,200 metres for 3-year-olds. $4.40 Better Not Blue, $4.80 Skripchenko, and $11 Stimuli.
Look, it hasn't been a great deal of money. Aerobar came out early in the week, and so not much doing since.
Speed map, Mark.
Well, it could be keen. It just depends. You've got Stimuli with the blinkers on. You've got Clammer probably finding the front, and Lockroy going forward. He was ridden off the speed the other day, but that was 1100, and he seems to get outside lead here.
Hard things to predict, but I'm tipping Lockroy comes across, Tommy Berry, anchor drop. Do I get anything for that?
He took the sit last time and actually finished the race off well, so connections might be buoyed by that.
They could be buoyed by that.
Yeah, but look, he was contesting early.
Yeah, he tried, and then they were...
He might come. Put it this way: if he gets across in the lead, anchor drop $1.10.
Yeah.
Well, hardly ever behind the speed with Grundazite
blinkers off
taking
the
a trail. Better not blue in a potentially poisonous situation, although he may be able to handle himself away from that. Skripchenko seems to be poised, as does Kipling. And I look to those runners. Kipling had his first run as a gelding at Canterbury, and well, I'm going to call this a golden switch for him. Rails in run was okay there, but drawing inside was not. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
So we'll call it a silver switch, Dale.
Okay, all right, lovely.
Silver switch for Kipling.
Whatever turns your topsoil, mate.
Who started the shortest price in that lead-up event. Six, Skripchenko has won her last three. She's Blouser, so that's why she's working her way through the grades. She goes to 1200, and it's perhaps not as ideal as last time. Three, Better Not Blue, better suited at 1200, and one, Grundazite. What you see is what you get, which is what you saw last time.
And I think rock hard track is what he needs.
Right, okay. 7631, 2.5 units Kipling and 2 units on Skripchenko.
Lovely. Stimuli any hope, people? Blinkers on. I know it's against one of my theories, fourth up, first prep, but there is a but to that. It is a 3-year-old, so it's not as if it's like... The theory being is that fourth run, first prep's too much for a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
This is a 3-year-old, so it's obviously been...
He's nearly 4.
But yeah, exactly. Been in and out, and the first 2 runs at 1,000 metres too, so blinkers on with that. I'm forgiving the fourth run, first prep.
The barrier and the jockey takes you a long way tomorrow.
Gun! 10 to 1 looks a good price to me.
Look, from my point of view, I found it pretty level, and the Grundazite is dropping back from that last race, so it has to be there. We sort of potted it a bit last week, and we were right, but it does drop back. It's a much easier race, and yeah, look, the punters absolutely nailed Better Not Blue. It was not suited at Randwick. It eased from $2 out to about $4, and it over-raced off a slow speed. So, as Mark said, positive 1200. I should go a bit quicker. But is it a horse? I'm starting to question it.
Well, look, without giving away too much for what we're doing, its best doesn't actually even measure up to the best of what Skripchenko's doing, what Stimuli's doing. So at its absolute best, what it's done so far isn't where these horses are currently.
Yeah, see, I like
now,
it.
and that's not factoring in Robbie Brewer back in the field, barrier 1. So if you think that if
you bagging jockeys, Dale?
Yes, I am. So from what we've seen, it has to, if it does its best under those circumstances, which seem difficult circumstances to be able to do it under, it still has to hope that the others don't run to what their current form is.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough. It's a very fair
that
call.
Doesn't, I mean, we're not exact all the time, but that's the way that we've seen it.
Yeah, look, I don't know whether 1400 or 1200 is its go. Like, we're not really sure. Like, if a strong 1400 maybe. But,
and if it is what you think is that it's a slightly drier track than what we've seen, that every notch of the track becomes a disadvantage for it, doesn't it? Or at least it takes away an ace anyway. And
look, to summarise, I'm not going to play. I found too many sort of angles, but they're not good angles. They're just they all even it out. I feel like it's going to be a very close finish with about 3 horses.
Beautiful. All right, lovely. Mark, what's happening with your week? Where are we Sunday? Are we anywhere Sunday or?
Sunday, we're going to have a Sunday off.
Oh, beautiful, good work.
But Tuesday, Kembla.
Okay, of course.
You know, like
the old days. It's the old days.
Just for something else, we've had seem to have had a few meetings. Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, there was
Wednesday, Thursday, and there were some movers and shakers at Wyong yesterday, which I'd like to claim some credit for. So, you need to get it.
Yeah, you do.
You need to be prepared.
Yes.
Even if you don't like what I come up with, you need to know that other people will be will be backing them. So there are a number of reasons why you should be buying this set tomorrow.
And all of our sets, Mark. There's a lot more to them than just A from B, C, and D.
That's right. So tomorrow it's Rosehill and Newcastle, and Tuesday Kembla. Wednesday we must be back at Warwick Farm, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Canterbury Warwick Farm, like.
It's almost like the Rosehill Randwick double.
Yeah,
we used to have a couple of
Canterbury
years
Warwick
ago. Yeah.
And I think it might be Gosford Friday this week. Does that sound right? Thursday somewhere else, or Thursday somewhere out wide.
Really?
Gosford, they love trying to scramble onto a Friday. So that's it's all happening, and it's a time of the year where you need to be aware that things happen. I mean, it's
you need to be right across it, don't you? Yeah.
well, it's obviously about how tracks are likely to play.
Yep.
And yesterday, like for example, along with the rail going true, the inside was going to be a big problem.
Yep.
And lo and behold, there were lots of firmers from wide draws yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not just the knowledge going into the meeting, it's the knowledge coming out of the meetings as well too, which is where probably the big fill up comes from.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So you need to be across it, and there's no one more across it spending more hours on it than Mark.
Thank you, Dallas. So yes, be prepared.
Whether it's just for the Sydney meetings, but the provincial ones are deadly, so they're beautiful. Mark stuff. You know where to find it. Race 3 is the More Than Ready Advinery over 1,500 metres. Eisenhower $4.80, final decision $5, Dupum $7, I suppose it runs, and Amarata $6.
Yeah, there hasn't been too much movement in this market either. So punters are
just warming up.
Yeah, let's say that.
Well, it's an even sort of race, isn't it? I mean,
Okay.
you think it's all right?
Just
Dale, you go first. Oh, sorry, I'll just talk about the map.
Eisenhower has mates this time.
Well, it's a bigger field, and
Yeah.
it's at Rosehill, and I had La Bella Rouge for Danny Beasley working well forward. Poncherello has the blinkers on underneath Eisenhower, and I didn't really see much else. I mean, Makadane's back from 1900. Amarata is quite fresh, but back from a mile. And Spinning Dawn is not really a horse with any type of speed.
Didn't that potential champion of Bjorn's, what's its name, the Dirty Blonde, what's her name, Sabrina, didn't it sort of become potential champion and just drop off and everybody realise how hopeless it is?
Well, it went to Queensland, didn't it?
Yeah.
Tried to stay.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, the old unlucky run.
Yeah, I think, poor B Baker.
Poor Aaron. Aaron's little pet, Sabrina.
Sabrina,
It's pretty much that was targeted at Aaron.
I believe so.
So away you go, Dale. You can have
I think there's two horses in the race. Eisenhower final decision. Eisenhower has got away with murder the last couple of times, and for those who get the IVR reports will know, which is not a huge amount of you, so I better explain it to everyone. Eisenhower really doesn't. He's hopeless in the wet tracks, but obviously being a leader and getting away with a soft lead is a good thing. But what has happened, what we see is that horses that don't handle the wet tracks, if they can get into races where the work isn't done during the wet, it doesn't expose them as much. And they've gone probably between 7 lengths to 10 lengths below through all the heavy sections. The last 2 races, which is quite surprising to get that type of shape, he's found the last 2 races. And then it comes on at the 600 where the track's actually dead. So whilst he would prefer concrete,
he's not put under full pressure.
He's still dead for's a lot better for him than heavy, which it was at Randwick in the back. So the fact that he's been able to get away with those 2 races is quite well. The horse is racing fantastically considering, but would be even better on a drier track. But there's some pretty serious aces he's brought. But in saying that, he's still returned good numbers in doing so with things against him. So he's a chance, but the other horse that gets the more aces tomorrow is his old mate from the same race as final decision.
Kathy off.
Kathy off, minor little change for Ty England, who's riding well. I think it's a Golden Switch too, isn't it?
Well, except that the inside was gold last week.
Yeah, but the outside, so it's gold to gold. What's that? It's still good. Yeah, and basically with that slow pace, final decision and those at the back in a very even race, we're giving away a very big handicap start to the rest of them, and that race was very even, and they're back off a -7 length converted tempo and giving away a few length starts to horses that they're all evenly graded with. There's no surprise to see what it is. More pace on, probably a bit more benchmarkish tomorrow, and Final Decision gets a chance to sail right down the fast lane and run over the top of Eisenhower, and the rest of them can finish equally third, a couple of lengths behind.
How many units, Dal?
I'm not doing units at the moment because it's going to be fucked.
Okay, right. So
I'm feeling it's
Have to
about
get-
5 or 6 unit job.
Yeah, it'd be backing Final Decision, saving Eisenhower.
Right.
How's that?
Very good.
I'll almost go last here, Matt. Do you want to take up?
And I should say, I
take
hope
the baton.
I should say I hope Dupin runs. I was a bit forgiving of Dupin's run, 2 back at Randwick with Jay Ford on it and outside the lane, but I thought what he did on Monday was just so common, and I hope it runs and keeps that $7 percentage in the market.
Yeah.
It was terrible on Monday.
Yeah, look, I sort of concur a lot. Eisenhower, I backed last start only because it would get the easy lead, and but I think the 1500 in a drier track is only going to be good. The problem I have with Final Decision, it's sort of it threw its head around off the slow speed last time, and I just feel like it's creeping into its game. Might be at the end of its prep.
Could that not be because it was actually probably itself was probably running about 13 lengths below benchmark?
Yeah, well, it's funny. Like you watch some
And
of
it's
Final,
Cathy.
you watch some of Final Decisions runs. Sometimes it can jump fast,
Yeah.
and they pull it back. But
Cathy.
to me, there's an opportunity just to let it roll. But for those reasons, I've got question marks on a couple, and I was going to back. I'm going to have 1 unit or 2 units on Amarada, who gets back to a dry track.
Got that great Sabrina looking form.
Yeah, well, gets back to a dry track, and I thought it was sort of progressing okay. And it's in a race where I've got a few question marks on some of the others. Yeah, Dupin, I think, I've had enough of him. Yeah, Amarado just jumps and sits, and he'll be there somewhere.
Beautiful. Okay, Mark.
6 Amarada, who's a golden switch horse for me, freshened up with a trial and a likely good position. 5 Double Happy back from 1900 and away from Canterbury. 2 Final Decision, who I was keen on last week and shouldn't have been because Cathy was on board. And 4 Make a Dane, who's also back from 1900. 6-5-2-4, 3.5 units to number 6 and 1.5 units to number 5.
And I should say my confidence level grows if that track is a little bit better too, because both of them are at best on dry. Moving into race 4, I should mention John McLeod, who has had an enormous Brisbane Carnival with his specials.
Yeah.
Only he's now going to concentrate on Brisbane. They've sort of been doing Perth for a while, but want to concentrate more on the northern rivers and sort of north coast. So something had to give, and Perth is going to give. So unfortunately, our Perth John Mack service is no longer.
No longer, but it'll probably lead to maybe more selections at other meetings.
More stuff at we'll be probably doing a bit more around
Lismore,
around that sort of stuff. Yeah, might even look at putting a Sunshine Coast one out on a Sunday as well too.
See.
So yeah, so it'll be a bit more concentrated on.
Good.
Yeah, fill up. Yeah, exactly. Or some part of it.
And a Gold Coast set for Saturday as well?
That's a possible. Yeah.
Bookies.
Wow,
Bookies hate-
look out.
Yeah,
We used to get hammered at
possibly.
Unibet.
Yeah,
That's,
possibly.
the Gold
But
Coast.
anyway, so I'm going up to see John. I think I'm pretty sure I'm going up to see John on Tuesday. So I'll have a chat to him about what we can and can't do and all that going forward. But yeah, anyway, John McLeod. That's not the important thing right now. The important thing is John McLeod Ipswich, because we all want to get it, because we all want to see what his moral is, because they just win.
Yeah,
Exactly right.
let's get hold of it, Dale.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
let's just keep it from everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that might be the key. Anyway, John McLeod stuff. You can buy it either perpetually through One to Follow, or just one out through our site, whatever way you want to do it. $55, awesome. All you got to do is buy it. Back his good thing. Your $55 is pretty well paid for. Race 4. Here it is. You'll Never $4, $7 Rugged Cross, Mighty Lucky $8, and Mirage is $3.20 and favourite.
Really?
Yes.
It is. A bit of specking for Eigelstein, $12 into 9, and Mighty Lucky, I think there was some 12s, and now that's 10. So yes, interesting.
All right, who leads them, mate?
Have you? Yeah, sorry. I'm yet to see the esteemed Viacardi numbers for Hawkesbury, which look. Well, I mean,
He
from
hadn't
the
done
Hawkesbury
Hawkesbury. No, he hadn't. When I spoke to him yesterday, he hadn't done Hawkesbury. But yeah, what?
The champion Sons of John.
Yeah, it doesn't read well.
They
They just backed it and smashed it and it just won the courting.
Yeah, well, that's all fine because the horse is going really well. No,
Yeah.
no problem there.
Yeah.
No, just they seem to have gone incredibly slowly,
Have they?
and a couple of riders. Well, you know, you'd expect Nathan Thomas to fuck it up, but
Yep.
you know, I suppose you should probably expect Lynn to fuck it up as well.
Well, I think you should. Yes, I think it'd only be giving him due respect.
But yeah, I mean, the official times have got them going like crawling.
Yeah, yeah. Official times, we know.
Well, that's why I'm
Yeah.
waiting.
No, well, that will be all revealed tomorrow morning.
Okay, we'll sweat on that. As far as this race is concerned, we obviously have
We just have no rain affair.
we have no rain
No
affair,
affair.
but we've got Mirage and we've got King Cobia wearing the
Oh,
blinkers.
Here we go. Here he is.
Oh, Mark.
Here he is. He probably tries to kick up and leave with the blinkers on, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. Mirage and Beauty's Beast coming across.
Yes. Beauty's Beast should be able to get one Mighty Lucky box seat, which was okay for him 2 weeks ago, but I don't know if it's okay for him tomorrow. Houseman on speed, Rugged Cross, Keep Cool out wide, getting ready for something. He won the 2,000 metre races on this program last year. You'll Never and Iglestone at the back. So, yeah. Yeah, look, I wasn't enamoured of the Randwick Beyond
Right.
Thankful
No,
business. That's
no.
just that's
Look, Mirage is
Mirage is a Mirage.
Well, yeah, it hasn't. Had a couple of things go wrong all prep, but it hasn't gone near breaking benchmark. You know, like.
Oh, well, the Rose Hill form's better for this, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. It's not.
Yeah, anyway.
I mean,
Look, I
it did get. I mean, it was potentially a flat run. It was going to have at Randwick, and we believed that the reason why it ran off the course was because that's a sign of it was feeling sore.
it's good.
But it was a nothing, right? It did get away with murder. It was a nothing race, and it's 5-2. I've been wrong most times, but I'm happy to be wrong there.
Okay, so 2 Rugged Cross, who comes back from Hawkesbury, and whilst he had every chance at Hawkesbury, I really much prefer this horse at 1400. Gun, right draw. 5 Mighty Lucky, he backs up off a silly ride, but Nathan Thomas seems to be the only time he can do anything is from an inside gate at Rose Hill.
27th time lucky. Nathan Thomas in a row on Mighty Lucky.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing,
checked his
isn't
stats this morning. 152 career rides, 2 wins.
it? Not career rides. You mean
Last year.
Yes,
Year.
yeah.
2 wins.
And one would have been Mighty Lucky at
How many-
Scone.
I saw Mighty Lucky one about this time last year.
Yeah, it was Scone. Yeah, yeah, I think so, wasn't it? Yeah, anyway.
1300 metre race, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, 9 King Cobia, who has is 4th up in this race at the right journey with some gear attached,
Yes.
and 7 Mirage. So that leaves me out of 1 You'll Never, who
Be a fucking certainty.
could. Just like, look, the way I look at it, Dal, is that he returned and then he used that momentum to get a perfect position and do the job. That can happen again, but
Yep. Same course. It's pretty much same course and distance. Bang bang. Same conditions. Bang bang.
and
And he hasn't really been extended. He hasn't really had to extend himself to do it either. Bang bang.
yeah, that's fair enough. Definitely fair enough.
This is danger. Dallas is warming to You'll Never.
100 units on You'll Never. I've been saving. I've been waiting for him.
You just waited
100
for him to
units.
win
Bang.
twice in a
Lock
row,
it in.
and now Dallas is in.
100 units You'll Never. $4. Lock it in.
Well, I think you'll get a surprising price tomorrow.
You reckon?
Well, because it's You'll Never to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, I
so-
know. Yeah, I know. I think there's a bit about
Up
that.
to 59. So
59 kilos. It doesn't obviously worry me, but it does worry me about how they might react to it.
Anyway, 2597. I'm having 2.5 units on number 2.
but I found it once again fairly even. I thought Mighty Lucky did a good job, sort of with chasing the speed. It was a solid pace, and look, obviously they won't. I don't think that.
Can I just get in? What are we saying about the backup? Because we've got a few horses here that are, essentially
the backup.
8 days to Hawkesbury, 6 days to now.
Look, the key is how slowly was the
How
horse
slowly
racing.
it wasn't a race. Yeah,
That's
fair
what,
enough.
you know.
Yeah, okay, cool. No,
But
fair point.
I'm just, for the sake of having a bet, I'll just be having 1 on Mighty Lucky, who I'm just putting a line through Hawkesbury, and Yeah, it looked.
Well, that was his race. Sorry to butt in, Matt. That was
That
his
was his
race to
race.
go forward,
Yeah.
and you know, apparently they've gone slowly.
Yeah.
You
Well, he's
know,
Nathan Thomas. What do you?
and he just fumbled around there, and there he was 3 wide. It's like, well, he had no trouble getting outside lead that race that Barbero beat him in.
No, exactly. It's just how it is.
Just
Throw it up in
so
the air and just do your
unlikely.
best.
And like, yeah, Mirage is sort of, it's priced because of the perceived map as well, and
Yeah.
it's just a bit. I do think it's going to get a fairly easy time.
Maybe.
I do think it's going to kick well, and I like the way he went to trials and behaved. But I can't come into his form like prior. Like it's just danger.
Yeah.
But
So- so-
I do think he's going to be there for a long time.
Oh, look, yeah, exactly. Granted. All right. Oh, perfect. All right. I'm your never. I'll just go through Rugged Cross and Eaglestein. I think they're both to be backed when the meeting's just about to be called off. Houseman's not really there. Mighty Lucky's got Nathan Thomas on it. Keep Cool as whatever it's doing. Mirage we mentioned. Beauty's Beast.
It's in the chair, isn't it?
Well, interesting. The charges that came out yesterday, obviously, with all the kobold and all that. You know, like, but
It's
I mean,
amazing that Danny he's still able to train and send them to the horses. But great effort, Danny
Yeah.
and Cav. And all the
they're all
boys.
exactly right. And one of the horses that actually did test positive did win the Derby last week. But anyway, that's all cool. That's fine. Yeah, I mean,
Magical, Del.
magical. Beauty's Beast did. I thought Beauty's Beast had its chance to do something last week. The betting said it wasn't even. I don't think anyone wrote its name in the book, and it just it performed accordingly. And King Cobia is the one with the blinkers on, which is a bit different. That leaves You'll Never Immoral. Thank you very much.
End of part 1.
Thank you.